Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Thank you for stopping by. I hope the week has gone well. President Macron, who's in town, and I've written a piece about it, but in the meantime he was at the One Planet Summit and he said there, the biosphere is threatened by collapse. Humanity is living on borrowed time. That goes back to something I wrote in November 2015. I cannot help feeling we are like frogs in boiling water. We have created massive interference in the cosmic fine-tuning phenomenon. Political reflections, what a photograph from Doug Mills, New York Times. President Trump and Speaker Pelosi pass each other during a Friends of Ireland luncheon on Capitol Hill. Now, of course, we had this horrible situation in, of all places, Christchurch, New Zealand. The murderer carried out his crime against humanity in Christchurch. Took me back to something I wrote in 2013 when we had that episode with the brothers Saneev. And I said this, there are more than 7 billion of us now in this 21st century world of ours. The long tail in a population of 7 billion is not an insignificant absolute number. In statistics, a long tail of some distributions of numbers is the portion of the distribution having a large number of occurrences far from the head or central part of the distribution. Put in a different way, there are surely many brothers Saneev in this new 21st century of ours. In truth, that disaffection might have any number of reasons, and I'm reminded of my French O-level where I studied Albert Camus' L'Étranger, and Camus said this, the Byronic hero, incapable of love or capable only of an impossible love, suffers endlessly, he is solitary, languid, his condition exhausts him. If he wants to feel alive, it must be in the terrible exaltation of a brief and destructive action. This chap in Christchurch streamed it on Facebook, live stream, got recorded, got pulled, and then re-uploaded to YouTube. The DPRK says it may end missile test moratorium and restart testing, says the US threw away a golden opportunity in Vietnam. The last time he was testing rockets was around September 2017, and I wrote a piece called A Screaming Comes Across the Sky. Gravity's Rainbow is a 1973 novel by Thomas Pynchon, which is about the design, the production and dispatch of V-2 rockets by the German military. In particular, it features the quest undertaken by several characters to uncover the secret of a mysterious device named the Schwarzgerät, the black device, slated to be installed in a rocket with the serial number 00000. As the world watches Pyongyang, I cannot help wondering if Kim Jong-un has read Pynchon, which speaks of a screaming comes across the sky. It is a curve each of them feels, unmistakably it is the parabola. They must have guessed, once or twice guessed, and refused to believe that everything always, collectively, had been moving toward that purified shape latent in the sky. That shape of no surprise, no second chance, no return. American B-52 bombers have flown over disputed South China Sea for the second time in 10 days. According to the US Pacific Air Force, second such flight in 10 days despite China's objections. Sun Zhe, co-chair of the China program at Columbia University, said the intention of the US in using B-52s was to restrain China in the South China Sea by dispatching strategic bomber which is capable of carrying nuclear weapons instead of reconnaissance aircraft such as the EP-3. The US's intention is very clear, to restrain China through flaring up the issue of the South China Sea. Beijing should remain vigilant, he said. Dio Darning, a US studies expert at Renmin University in Beijing, dismissed suggestions that the US was pressing China on trade talks by sending the B-52s. Wednesday's operation followed one on March 4, in which two B-52Hs conducted training flights from Guam, one to the East China Sea and one to the South China Sea. 15th of October last year, I was talking about how war is coming. I cited the incident with the USS Decatur and said that incident is surely a precursor. In that same article, I was saying B-52s are buzzing China practically daily. 9th of July last year, I was asking about the tariff wars. I said, who blinks first? President Trump says, I think President Xi saw that I'm somebody that believes in walking when the deal is not done. And you know there's always a chance it could happen, and he probably wouldn't want that. And that goes back to July 2018 when I was citing James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause, and a Chicky Run where both protagonists race stolen cars towards the edge of a cliff. The first to eject out of his car is branded a Chickie.